I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Championship Sunday and the men's final here at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series. I'm Jim Nix, and I'm here with Shawn, Joyce, and we're going to bring you this game between Jacques and Daylan Vavrek, kind of a rematch of a game earlier this week, and we look forward to a good one.
Yeah, and that game from earlier this week is the reason why Daylan has last rock here. He won that game in the round robin play, so comes in with a record of 3-0 by virtue of being in the higher seeded team. He had last rock here in this opening end play, throwing the red stones.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. In the game we did before, Ryan got off to a good start, and the Vavrek team struggled a little bit with draw weight, but after about 3 ends or so, it turned right around. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Well, Ryan's had a long and interesting day already. He's played the quarterfinal this morning, went to an extra end. His semi this afternoon went to an extra end, and I was just doing the math because I did the game this morning and I was watching the tail end of the game this afternoon. He's played 18 ends, and of course in the first end and the extra end you're going to be tied up in both of those ends, but out of the 18 ends he's played, he's only had the lead 3 ends.
Holy cow.
Yeah. He's only played with the lead for 3 ends. Of course he had the lead at the end of both games, but tied for 6 ends, and he's been trailing for 9. That's not usually the recipe to get you through to the final, but here he is.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You see that we were talking in the last game a little bit about one of the latest games at the Slam, and it was like 3 of the 4 players had outplayed the other their counterparts on the other side, and the other was tied, and yet the team that was not playing as well was winning. So you never know. Pretty wide open start to this one. Vavrek just going to the hitting game here in the final for a few ends at least, and see what happens. When I say a few, it's probably 1 end, to be honest. Usually they don't go past the first end before they start.
I wouldn't think so. He thought about playing the corner guard to start the end. Now that might have had to do with the fact that first stone, when it was brought into the rings, was well off the center line, so it might have been a call down to the other end. You guys want to play the corner guard? And the answer came back no.
Yeah, so. Very quickly. Yeah, pretty solid team. I hadn't seen the Vavrek team. Well, I hadn't seen either one of these teams before the weekend, I guess, and pretty impressed with both teams, really. I know Ryan's team has been a little up and down. Vavrek went kind of through pretty good shape, so but really they throw the rock very well, and apparently a team that doesn't play a lot early in the season, they kind of turn it up a little bit when they get to tanker time and things like that. But
I have to admit this. Sorry, Jim, this is my first time to see these guys.
Well, I think you'd be impressed. They all throw the rock very nice. They good deliveries, nice and smooth, even, and they seem to throw it really good. Like I say, they just struggle with draw weight for 3 or 4 ends, and then once they got that, they were pretty tough to deal with. So So second stone for Ryan Jacques is Jordan Tardy. Might be familiar with that last name. And good player, another good player. They're all good players, but Jordan had a really good game the first game that I did with against Vavrek, and throws a really nice stone. Still going with the open format here, and looks like we'll go through this end with this.
I will say the Vavrek team has already gone out of their way to confuse the announcers.
Oh yeah, what?
Well, I'm not sure they're throwing in the same order that I've got, because okay. I see Tristan Stanky. No, that's him brushing. Well, that does not look like. They have an alternate, and they have an alternate jacket because there's no last name on that. That is not Carter Lautner.
Okay, we called him Carter Lautner the whole first game, but.
Well, that's who's in the position, but I'm looking at the mugshot that I've got with their roster, and that isn't him. And if you look at the jackets, you'll notice that particular jacket doesn't have a last name on it. So they must carry a jacket just for the odd time that they need a spare.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just not refer to him. We'll just refer to him as the second. I have to go a little to make this one stay. Looks fine. So third stone is Tristan Stanky, though.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. He has to play the out turn hit.
Or at least it's his jacket.
Yeah.
Well, my mugshot has Tristan Stanky with glasses too, but it does look a little like the same mugshot. Just must be wearing contacts today.
Yeah, perhaps so. Well, it's a little bit, I won't use the word boring in the first inning because we kind of expect it, but they're doing it very well. Anyways, let's put it that way. Both teams have not rolled out once in however many hits we've thrown now. It's quite a few, so that's a good sign. Ryan Perrant for third for the Ryan Jacques team.
This is never a guaranteed blank either. I've already seen somebody nose hit the blank attempt on an end like this earlier today.
Yeah, me as well. In the ladies' game, it was it happens more often than a person thinks. One more hit.
The other thing that I had happen earlier today, Jamie Cooey's team only had 3 players on their initial roster, and they did have 4 players out there. And so we had to ask if anybody on chat knew who the 4th player was. And so apparently we can do that again here for the final. If you know who's throwing second for the Vavrek team, pop into the chat and give us a clue, and we'll make him famous. But I don't know what to call him now. It was David Aho that was playing this morning, and I was calling him new guy for 6 ends until we got a response. So we can't use new guy because I've already done that one.
All right.
The nameless wonder, I guess, because he's got no name on the jacket.
The chat open here. Ryan Jacques with his first one of the game. No problem. Commented on, everybody has a little bit of a pre-shot routine, and Ryan's is very, very deliberate and consistent. So it's not a bad thing at all. It's just you don't see that quite as often as you might think.
Yeah, I saw him once this morning that deliberate would be putting it mildly. Now he checks that slider at every throw, but I think he might have actually had something under it that particular throw, or it felt like it didn't. I was getting later in the game too, so it could be just that it felt a little gummy in the hack area too.
Yeah. Daylan Vavrek, his first here in the first end. Once again, looks like it's going to be right on the nose. Good shot. We're almost at the moment of truth. Ryan will want to stay on this, even though it doesn't appear to make a difference. It does make a difference. If he can stay here, roll a little bit to the center, maybe make the blank a little bit tougher for Daylan, would be good.
Yeah, two schools of thought really on that. You roll to the center, make the rollout as long as possible, or you roll about a rock's width or rock and a half's width to the outside and make him throw outside the edge of the 8 foot, because the stats over the last few years, they've been keeping track of it, have shown that at the top level, even if you can make a guy throw with a broom outside the edge of the 8 foot, the percentages drop. And you're only looking for a half of a miss here.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I would not have known that.
I've my pet theory on it for all the time that I've heard about that is that it has a little something to do with the modern hacks, the Marco hacks.
Yeah.
You and I are of a slightly older generation, I believe, Jim, where the hacks used to be dug into the ice, and if you had to throw the wide corner, you just put your foot in the corner of the hole and you could turn out there fairly well. These hacks are really designed to go more straight down the center. So as you get a little wider, it's tough to push off directly towards the broom. At least that's my theory on it anyway, having heard those stats.
Well, the other thing too is a few years ago, quite a few years ago now, but the ice always used to be much funkier outside the edge of the 8 foot at clubs than it is now. Now it's got a little bit more consistency, but you didn't really know what you were going to get for a long time outside of the edge. So that's an interesting stat. I found that fascinating a little bit. And we finished one end of play here in the men's final at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series. As I said, men's final, we've got a blank end, and Vavrek will be back with hammer in end number 2.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
We're back. Jim Nix with Shawn Joyce, bringing you the final of this men's side of the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series event here in Beaumont. Beaumont hosts a lot of events. We've already been here a few times this year, and very, very active that way in terms of hosting events, Shawn, that's for sure. So we'll move to the second end. Ryan Jacques put up the guard, so he's willing to kind of mix it up a little bit. Daylan Vavrek came around it, and now Jacques will try to follow that one in. We mentioned yesterday that Vavrek is the defending champion of this event. He won this last year, and also won the Boston Cup qualifier last year to get into the tanker. But it's he just takes a little longer getting the season going for him and his team. So
having a good run though here in Beaumont, and I often wonder, I mean, I can remember back to my own playing days when you were playing against a team like this, now mine, of course, in Saskatchewan, but these two teams know that they're probably going to see each other in, I'm not sure where the tankard is in Alberta this year, whether it's late January or early February, but at any rate, these two teams expecting to bump heads somewhere along the way in there, and these games can, there'll be a little bit of fuel in the tank for those games later on. When you...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, I think for a bizarre reason, I actually know that the Boston Pizza Cup here in Alberta is in early February. I think it's the 5th to the 10th, maybe, right in there. So I was just looking up something for a local spiel we have here earlier today, and it would conflict with that. I don't know if we're covering that or not, but I was curious. So very nice shot. Revan Asmussen. Ryan Jake's going to play the run back.
5th stone of the end, but you're allowed to play your own back.
Yeah. Jordan Tardy. Seen enough of Jordan now to know that he can get the weight up there pretty good without really looking like it sometimes. This is going to overcurl, I think.
Crossed it just a little too much.
Yeah. Almost a bit of a mix-up on weight versus ice there. Don't know if it was, but certainly didn't seem to be matched up.
And I told you I had some luck this morning calling out to the chat for the name of who's playing. It's Nathan Conley playing second for the Vavrek team. Alana Murphy gave us that information in the chat.
Nathan Conley, okay. Thanks very much to Nathan. Or not to Nathan, to Alana for giving us that information.
To Nathan for subbing and to Alana for letting us know who it is.
Yeah. So looking to put the guard back up for Vavrek here. Sliding maybe a little further than he wanted. Depending on the angles here. Well, Ryan will certainly be able to move a couple of those if he so chooses.
Yeah, he can. I wouldn't mind if... just think about this for a second. Is he going to squirt the one in behind the guards?
It might, yeah. That's a possibility. He's asked for some kind of weight about 4 feet above his head.
I know, but
yeah,
they're already angled that way. Like, if it's just going to squirt behind the guards, you could also just hit the frozen stone right on the nose and stay frozen yourself, but didn't even explore that option.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen here. There they go.
It's going to get past the guard.
Whoa, that one didn't quite get out, so we can't really give him a triple on that. We have to just.
I'd just be happy it did stay in behind the guard, because that was the danger there, trying to squirt it that way, is that you just didn't know for sure how far it was going to go when they were staggered the other direction.
No, I agree. I didn't envision it going that far or anywhere close to that far. I didn't know if it would stay behind, but
as long as it's out in the open, it's a good shot.
So the come around here.
Yeah, Vavrek team still has stuff to work with here. And last rock.
So this would be the infamous Nathan Conley. Now that we know who Nathan is. Fits in very good with this team. Good thrower. Very nice shot there. Ryan's got a little bit of problem to deal with here.
Yeah, the stagger on those yellows means you can't really run either one of them back. You hit the biter. Vavrek could decide to come around again.
Yeah, you could be in bigger trouble.
He's looking at playing the double on the yellows and hoping it will clip that red at the side of the 12-foot.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. If he lines it up right, I think there's a definite possibility of making that and rolling your shooter a little bit towards the center at least and freeing things up a little bit for you. Looking for a big weight again.
Yeah, I think to hit it where he needs to hit it to drive the second yellow onto that red at the side, he's going to be hitting the first one close to the nose. So he's going to want some weight. You're right. He wants to roll at least half a rock's width so that he can see that rock in the top of the 8-foot.
Yeah, here comes Ryan Perrant. Looks like he's going to overcurl a bit, but he might be okay.
Does it still jam that one? No, it goes under.
Yeah.
He might beat it with the roll in, though.
Oh, yeah.
Rolls in for second shot himself.
He did.
Vavrek's looking at the come around, but I think you got to hit that third shot stone. And actually, if you roll buried, you're at a good depth with that stone too. You'd be straight across enough that I don't think the double would be there off shot stone.
No, it'd be pretty tough.
Could roll just to bite too. That's a good shot. So I'm just looking at just roll to bite the 12-foot. Keep your 3 rocks well spread out.
So Tristan Stanky did a hit and stay here. Did a little bit of flop in. It looks like it might not get there. It might be staying out.
Remember what I said about Broom outside the edge of the 8-foot, and he certainly looked like he was drifting a little on that slide.
Yeah, so that helps the Jake's team a little bit at least.
Yeah, this double is there for sure.
And Ryan, not a big guy, but he can get it out there pretty good. Throw the weight down pretty good. He's very low and drives out of there pretty hard. On its way. Out turn. Need to hit about probably half a rock or so, maybe a little bit more than that.
I was thinking a little less myself.
A little less than half?
Yeah. He'll make contact, but he spins up and out, so that'll give them the chance to come around the corner. I was curious to see if he makes the double and sticks it there. Second end of a tie game, does Vavrek go around the corner guard, or? And I don't know because I don't know this team, but he does have last rock. You're on thirds last. That's usually a good time to make an offensive move. It's an easy decision now. There's no biter.
Yeah, and I don't know them real well either yet, but it's I think he would have came around. I just have to believe second end he'd come around rather than when it's out in the 12-foot somewhere. But
yeah, I think a lot of teams would. But you come around and ignore a biter, you're probably giving up on the blank end. But
yeah,
this is a good opportunity.
This one's going to have to go a little bit more.
He's got great line if they can get it to the tee line.
Not quite, about 2/3 open.
Yeah, it was coming in nice. If they get another 2 feet out of that, I think it's dead buried. But
absolutely, yeah. No, I would agree with that too.
There's good late movement here in Beaumont. You don't have to be real tight by a guard, but you've got to. If you're trying to throw a stone to just in front of the tee line, you better be there because all the movement's late, and there's the case there. He's about 2 feet short of that, and it's 2/3 out in the open.
Yeah. So Ryan Jacques, pre-shot routine, as we said, pretty consistent. He cleans the slider off every time. And he gets set, lines himself up, and then gets down and goes. He tends to throw pretty nice kind of control type weight for his hits from what I've seen so far, and that would probably be what he's looking at here, something in a board plus weight for the shot.
Yeah, you'd like to stay somewhere near the top of the 4-foot and make him make a play on it.
So might have to curl a little bit. Looks like he was a little straight coming out, but no, he's going to be okay. Ooh. Nice shot.
Yeah, they might have liked a little bit more roll than that, but...
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were just trying to guess from the sweeping there. I wasn't sure if they were trying to roll a little bit further away or trying to roll under, and I thought a little further away would be a better option as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure they could get under.
No, I didn't
but
think it was
you roll another rocks with, then this is a much tougher roll behind.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, you want to stay yourself. You don't want to...
Yes, yeah, for sure. That's a factor, yeah.
So Daylan Vavrek now will look for a little bit of a hit and flop behind the guard. Just about needs 2.5 foot roll. Let me try to do this without too much weight on this one.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a little bit more than Ryan. This is a lot tighter ice. Granted, he does have to cross it, but it's close to the same broom that Ryan had on his attempt.
Yeah. Gonna be really close. Gonna roll a little too far, maybe. No. Yeah.
Show him a piece on the outside's not bad. If Ryan is able to pick it out, he's going to have a hard time holding the shooter, and then it's an easy blank.
Yeah, true enough. You don't like to give up two, so do you take the chance on the run back, or do you try to pick it out? See, each his own on that.
Yeah, exactly. And that might be the other factor in why it's such a good roll. If you roll dead in behind, you probably don't leave Ryan a choice. He plays the run back, and if he dead sticks it behind, you're forced.
Yeah.
He can't force you here, even if he makes the run back, because if he sticks the run back, he's not going to be buried.
No, you'd be very fortunate to stay there. I think it could, but it would be.
You'd have to roll them both the same amount. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tough to do. He's going to play the run.
Yeah, Ryan Jack's going to play the run. Fairly short run by run standards, but none of those are gimmies, and it's trying to avoid giving up a 2 here in the second end.
If he gives up 2, it's not the end of the world. He hasn't had the lead before the 6th end yet today.
Yeah, he'd be getting his comfort zone.
Yeah, he'd have him right where he wanted him.
Yeah. Well, he didn't look wide to me, but it's going to be close. Going to make it. Doesn't matter whether or not he rolls. Got the inside roll, yeah.
Did roll them both together a little bit.
Yeah.
Left the same piece. Now, the difference being Vavrek doesn't mind if he rolls out. In fact, that's his preference. So half a rock is plenty.
Yeah, it kind of took our little roll talk when we said roll them each the same way. We didn't mean they had to both roll the exact same amount.
No, he needed the one in the house to roll just a fraction more. Yeah. That's a really tough shot, though.
Yeah, well, for sure, yeah. So Vavrek, with about half of this rock exposed or a little more, will try to pick it out, blink this in, keep the hammer through till the third end. Oh, maybe a change of tone here.
He's going to draw. Didn't like the looks of it from the hack.
No.
This could be an even end versus odd end type thing, too. There's a lot of teams that take the approach that it's never a bad thing to score in the even end. He might be more inclined to play for the blank in the odd end.
Yeah, because the other thing that enters into it, but the rock is so far out it shouldn't be a problem, is if you ever just feathered the top one, it might end up in the rings. But
true,
it is a long way out to have that happen. So
it would be tough. Yeah. With the weight he's going to throw, if he just rubs it, it's probably going straight sideways. If he hits it thick enough to get it into the rings, it's probably flying.
Exactly. So here comes an out-turn draw for Daylan Vavrek. Nobody's touching this one.
No, they've backed away. They're standing up straight.
Definitely on the heavy side. Will I be able to get it back far enough? Yeah, I don't think so, but I can't really see yet.
I think it stopped just in time.
Yeah, I would agree. Stopped just once, going past that dinosaur, slowed her down a little bit. So Vavrek will pick up 1 here in the second end, and he'll take a 1-0 lead to the third end here in the men's final of the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series. Brought to you on Curling Beaumont, Curling Stadium Beaumont.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, 2 ends down, 6 to go here, barring an extra end, and Ryan seems to be a fan favorite of extra ends, so it might be 7 to go here yet. But he did manage to force Vavrek to take 1 in the second end, so the job well done for the Jacques team, and center guard went up, corner guard went up.
He's used to doing production. He thinks he's getting paid by the hour.
Yeah. Come around. This looks pretty good. Like to keep this above the tee line, but not too far above the tee line. That's a nice shot.
So right there is what you're saying.
Yeah, right about there. So Ryan will start the stacking process here.
Yeah, it's too good to ignore, so he can't just go around the corner.
Try to get the corner freeze on this one. Ethan Drysdale, lead stone, left-handed lead stone for the Jacques team. Line's looking pretty good.
He's tight by the guard, I thought.
Yeah, he might be a little tight, but he's going to slide by.
Oh, good job with the brushers.
And right on top of the red, so good shot.
Great shot.
Vavrek will try to follow that in. Sweeper's not doing a whole lot right yet.
Looking for some curl here.
Yeah.
The difference in the two stones, a lot more line, but it looks like it's going to get there.
Yeah, it's it. Once they make that break, they go pretty good. Another nice shot. Ryan's going to run it. Try to get both reds, the guard and the one on the top of the 8-foot. Could probably get all the reds here if everything went well. Jordan Tardy. Out turn. Sweepers on this really early. Might be going to curl too far, and it does. I don't know if he's getting right on the stick on those. That's the second one here, just in 3 ends. It really, on a shot like that, he wasn't terribly close to hitting it where you'd expect. And that weight, if you're close to the broom, you shouldn't end up closer than that, I think so. Vavrek throw the guard up.
Really not much to think about here for the Vavrek team. Just throw up the guards until they make 2 rocks disappear.
Yeah, exactly. Nathan Conley. His first here. Or second here, I guess, actually. Nicely done.
Going to get it tighter, but they had to sweep it a little bit to get the line they needed.
Yeah, exactly. So another chance at this run back for Jordan. Going in turn. This one's got to curl a bit, I think. They're going to hold it straight, though, so maybe not. It's close. Gets the two of them. Yeah.
Gets two, leaves his shooter out there. Really, you could guard the guard, or you could play right on top again.
Yeah, that's the problem when you go for the run back versus the straight peel. Is that if you don't get the run back sometimes exactly as way as you want it, then you have the guard out there to deal with.
Well, you do, but it's your own guard now, and if Vavrek corner freezes this, that's the danger. You corner freeze, he's playing the run back again, and it's a yellow run back. The middle yellow is not going anywhere. No. So you could just throw the long guard here, guard everything, and make him play the double peel. Yeah, nothing wrong with this freeze that he's playing, but if you make it good and they make the run back, you're suddenly going to be looking at two yellows.
Tristan Stanky with the outturn. I have to work this one pretty hard, I think, to get it in there. He's getting close. No, well done.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Run back's there, but the top red's probably not going very far either.
No, exactly, yeah. Yeah, a lot less opportunity now to get rid of all the reds than there was a minute ago. Still probably going to play it. Can't really play much else. I love the peel weight signal that they use. Most people just tap something. They got the whole little wave going on. It's pretty cool. Ryan Perrott now trying to play the run back on the yellow. Yellow, red, and see what happens. He's close. Got to curl a little bit more, though. Having a heck of a hard time making this. He's got lots of corner guards to work with now, just not enough rocks probably to work with them. Vavrek going with the guard again. Like we said, there's not a whole lot else he can do right now. And not really in much danger right now either, to be honest. He's just...
No, yeah, even if the run's made, again, it's tough for the Jake's team to get the top red one to leave the house.
Yeah, and if you're anything less than straight on it, then he'll be able to get it out anyways.
Yeah, shot rock would be open after that, yeah.
This one's going a little bit deep. I might have got away with it, but I think you can get them all here if you want. The middle one, the middle red, is probably going to be a little bit of a challenge to have it go out, but
yeah,
the others I think I'll go fairly easily.
But that's what Ryan's looking at. You might be able to roll into the house off this.
Yeah.
You're going to look to hit it as we look at Ryan. You're going to look to hit it a little bit on the left of on the center line side of the rock that was just delivered.
Yeah.
And even with the big weight, there's a chance you hang on for a bite at the corner of the 12 somewhere, maybe even in behind that corner guard.
Yeah, quite possibly. Going out turn here, which I thought he was going in turn when he first set up, but...
Yeah, it's a little easier to get into the house with the in-turn.
Well, once again, Ryan Perron's done a nice job in back-to-back ends of cleaning it up, getting rid of all kinds of rocks.
Did leave one red at the back for a biter, so that the force is still a possibility. I'm not seeing a steal happening now, though.
No. No, you'd probably have to get just a total miss to steal now. It's not going to be able to force too difficult. So. You think he's throwing here for weight, Shawn? Maybe just like a board weight shot kind of thing?
Yeah, you're playing for the roll probably behind the corner, and there is that stone at the back. You want to negotiate it past, so you're going to want to hit this, a little thinner, which means you got to throw less weight if you want to hang around.
Yeah, you probably
board weight.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Jim. Board weight, you could probably hit about half, right?
Yeah. I think he'd like to stay here because he'd rather, if he doesn't stay, then Ryan's going around one of the corners.
This was tight.
He didn't throw this one overthrow it, that's for sure.
No, I'm not sure he got out to the stick either.
No, he might get lucky and get it out the other way, but he might just jam it right straight back.
That's barely hack weight.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the weight he wanted to throw, because it's hard to get a 3-foot roll with that weight.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So Ryan Jacques with a chance to manage to get a deuce here. He can make this one roll behind the corner, and even if he doesn't quite get behind the corner, he still has a good shot at getting a 2. And he knows he's got to throw a little bit of weight just after watching Daylan's there that just overcurled. Jake, certainly not a lot of weight on this, but more than we just saw from Vavrek. It's got to curl though. Got to go hard. He's going to be okay, I think. Well, hang on, it might not.
It's rolling a long ways.
Yeah, it's going to. Will it spin back on? I'm thinking no. Looks like it's off. So. Big miss, really. Missed opportunity, I guess, more than anything for Ryan Jacques there.
Yep.
Vavrek will just make this go away and hope to stay, just to make sure Ryan has to do something on the blank end other than throw it through, but there's nothing out there that's splittable, so he's not going to try that.
Really back-to-back misses there by the 2 skips. You wouldn't have, the way this game's gone so far, wouldn't have bet money that either one of them was going to miss those 2 shots.
No. Yeah, one very underthrown and one perhaps even a little bit overthrown, if anything else. Daylan Vavrek won't underthrow this one. Just trying to get it to curl up, hit it on the nose, and he should be close. Will he stay? He may not stay, actually. He just hangs on at the back.
That's the weight he needed on the first one. That's the amount of roll he was looking for on the first one.
Exactly, yeah. So Ryan not taking any time on this one.
No.
Down to throw the pick on the red.
For Vavrek, if you knew you were going to stick around, you'd say, yeah, I want it to roll exactly that far, because he's taken away the outside half of the rock. He's got to play from the inside out, which is, it's there. Yeah. But it's not the more comfortable turn for a lot of people when they're playing the blank.
No, that's true enough. That'd be me as well. Rarely would I ever play a blank from the inside out. So.
Well, in a lot of cases that makes for a longer blank, but when you're way back there, it's still not very long that he has to roll to get out.
Yeah, true enough. So Ryan Jacques with a little bit of weight on this one. Needs to make sure he doesn't turn this in at all and catch the guard.
I thought he did.
He's close. No, he'll get by, but he might stay. Will they get it out? They might.
Oh, the spin at the end.
Fortunate spin at the end for sure. You know it's going to spin that way, but that's still pretty fortunate. He hit a lot of that rock. But
Yeah, I thought it was staying, and then it took that little spin right at where the center line intersects the back line, and enough to get out.
yeah. So Ryan Jacques manages to blank the third end and keep hammer moving to 4. And number 4 is a good end to score. So we'll see how that one goes when we come back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Pretty low scoring affairs here so far in the final, the men's final in our Hack2House curling event. It's hasn't been just totally up and down the sheet, but the final scores have been pretty low. So we've got a blank end for Ryan Jacques, who retains hammer moving into end number 4. Center guard went up for Vavrek, and Jacques now will ask Ethan Drysdale to come around that. And it looks like it's going to be pretty good. He's a little more. Yeah, very nicely done. Play the freeze. Or I'm not sure now. Just wait a second. Looks like he's calling the freeze. Yep. He was just showing the options there of a freeze or perhaps just a backline kind of shot and move that around a little bit, but opted with the freeze. Vavrek team out of Sexsmith, Alberta.
They can afford to play the tap if the line's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're sweeping to get to the tap. This is just trying to get there.
So a good shot by Asmussen. All right, he's going to play that same shot. Try to get, if possible, to at least the nose of the red one.
Yeah, I'd love to get to the inside of it.
Yeah. Might be able to do that. It would be a challenge, but we'll see if Drysdale can live up to that. Well, it looks like he indicated he was wide.
That's not going to help.
Yeah, no, not going to help at all. Coming pretty good, though.
Yeah, this looks like tighter line than the last one. Still got a long ways to go to the inside. He's got a little bit more weight, too.
So just the basically just that amount wide caused him a problem. Vavrek now will look at a little tap and roll.
Yeah, I don't know if he could throw enough weight necessarily to move it. He sure doesn't want to touch the red on the way by.
No.
He can get it to the back of the house for sure.
Yeah, I think that might be all he's looking for.
He might have air He's got air on the guard. Yeah, he's got a little bit of air on the guard. He might be able to just hack to bumper, get it all the way through, and get underneath.
Yeah, I think there's definitely enough room to do that. Just you got to be really can't overthrow it at all.
No, you don't want to. That red stone in behind it is in a good spot. You don't want to move it. This is going to have to curl.
Not going to get there.
No, and you broke your good position that you had on that red stone too. That's the bigger problem.
Yeah, it certainly looks a little different now. So Ryan Jake sitting 2 with hammer, but a long way to go here in the 4th end. Ryan looking for backline weight. Right now, it could change, but right now he's looking for backline weight. Move the yellow. Sure, Ryan does a lot of tapping with the broom.
Yeah, this is a tough shot.
Is it ever? I haven't quite figured. I thought he was going to tap the red.
Yeah, I think he's playing the either or. You play the same weight and you're splitting one or the other, and I understand what he's looking at, trying to split the yellow, because if you leave the yellow right there, there's a double available.
Yeah.
Problem is, if you split off the red, if you're worried about the double, you split off the red and end up on top of your own shot stone, you might leave a triple.
Yeah.
But the split here is tough.
Well, he's gonna run off of something. What's it gonna be? A little bit of the red.
He's gonna kill it though.
Yeah, I think the degree of difficulty on that shot was just a little bit too high, really, for the guy throwing it. I think it was like, I just don't really know exactly what to throw here. So,
well, I'm not entirely sure that everybody knew what they were playing either,
Yeah.
because the communication didn't look like it was there. I mean, if you know it's that heavy, you got to sweep and hit the red one.
Well, exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. You definitely don't want to be going by and taking your own rock out. Good chance now for Vavrek actually to maybe remove both yellows.
Well, the double's tough now. You know, I don't know if you can see enough air to make the slash double, and it's paper thin the other way, so I think he's just rolling in front.
Oh, okay. Well, it's got a curl then. Not going to quite get there. So Ryan Jake's thinking of I'm just going to wait a minute till he finishes doing all that, because he basically taps all over the place until we I don't know.
Well, I can analyze the options with him. He's got the hit that he could sit
Yeah.
to. He could hit the one that was just thrown. You might leave the slash double now if you do that, because it's up a couple of rocks. Now it would be in front of that red. He'd be able to see enough to play that. He looked at the come around as well. The shot that he didn't look at, that is an option. You could draw open side, full 8 foot at the tee line. You'd be sitting 2.
Yeah.
Hard to think that Vavrek would ignore it. I mean, he could go after the one in the button, but it's a tough shot.
So he's playing an out-turn hit on the red. Try to get a little bit of a flop inside. Going to be right on the nose, I think. Not a bad spot.
Yeah, the slash is probably there now. The hit and roll is still there. It's not as good. You'll only be just 12 foot. I think if you're hitting the yellow, you're playing the slash.
Yeah, I think so
and
too.
Again, hard to ignore it. You know, you don't have last rock here. They're sitting 2. Shot rock is buried. It's really hard to ignore second shot when it's the only one you can hit. But the angle's better now. You can see this. What do you need? About half? Half should make contact with it somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe thick half to make the double. Nothing out of the brushers yet. This is on the red.
This is, not going to work at all. I think he's a little confused by that. I think he felt like he threw it good, but
Well,
If he went straight, I don't know.
where the broom was and where he hit, he couldn't have thrown it that good because he should have been inside of that if he hits the broom. Had to be a little set.
Yeah.
And I don't think the slash is there anymore because that red is now a little higher than the yellow. I don't think he can hit half a rock on the yellow.
So I'm thinking Ryan's going around on this, but
Yeah, probably. I mean, you still could draw open side. The problem is you're sitting 3, and Vavrek's only way out really would be the freeze. You might kind of force him to play that shot.
yeah, exactly. That's what my thinking is.
If you're going to come around, you do have to be pretty close to right down to your own, because if you can see with where that yellow is at the top 12, if you're, say, just biting the top of the 8, you've left a double at the top.
Yeah. So that's the call. Not right to his own, but very close to his own.
Yeah, maybe bite the top of the 4-foot. Well, sweeping for curl, so this is out there a bit. Now they switched back.
Ooh, barely. Gonna bump his own a little bit.
We're going to have a chat with Ryan and tell him, let your team know that they can't walk down right in the camera line. We can't see the rock.
Yeah. So they have left the freeze for Vavrek, or the little sort of tap freeze, if you want to call it that. But
yeah, dangerous though, because they've left themselves an angle on the L2. I think he's got to play this one. It's just a question of what kind of weight can he get at it with. Like the port's not quite a rock's width, so he can't throw it too hard, I wouldn't think.
no. Oh, you're thinking he has to play through the hole?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Hack to bumper, just kill the back one, and he talked about rolling over, but this could be similar to the run back, although it's much shorter than the one Ryan had a couple ends ago. You could just roll them both together and stay in front of the yellow.
Yeah.
Boy, Stanky looking at the run. This is an all or nothing shot, and even if you make it, you're giving up 2. Like, you're not playing this run and thinking you're getting out of trouble.
It's a long round too.
Yeah, it is. I think he talked him into it, though.
Yeah. Well, if you can at least get it going that side of the sheet, then you should, with any luck at all, make contact with something that's yellow.
Yeah, you really need to make the run double here.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just to hold him to 2. Like,
on its way, trying to hold it out there. It's going to curl a lot. It's going to curl too much. Might hit the other yellow. Does. So not what they were looking for sure, but
still left a double in the middle, so they could probably hold him to 2. The question now for Ryan becomes, where do you go with the next one?
I don't know if I like a guard. I just kind of like draw the open side right by where you're standing. It'd be pretty nice, I think. Somewhere in that area. So if he makes it double and rolls, you're still shot rock.
I hate throwing center guards with last rock.
Yeah. But they're obviously okay with it because there was no discussion at all. It was just put them down and go. Drysdale going hard on this, though. Letting up a little now. I'm not sure what it's going to guard. It's so long.
That guarded the top one. That's what it needed to do.
Yeah. Easy to come around that, though. Come around and I don't know if I'd want to go to the back one. I'd come around to the top one, move the top one back a little bit.
Well, hard to move the top one back. I mean, you'd have to get it all the way through the forefoot to just be second shot. If you just freeze to it here, tough to think that you're going to cut them down to less than 2.
Yeah. Well, he's not drawn. We can figure that much.
No, he's going to hit the back one. It can see about 3/4 of it. Not throwing a lot of weight with that amount of ice. If you could stay close to the nose and stay close to right there, do the exchange. It hit even with a little bit of a roll. And if Ryan hits it again, it might be high enough to play the double. If I had a telestrator, I could show you 2 rocks higher.
Yeah.
I got to throw that word out once a broadcast just to see if Jerry's paying attention.
So this one's on its way. Interesting to see. I think he's trying to hit the top one. Just because they're not trying to make every effort to get it by to the second one. Ooh, lucky you got that far.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what they were playing, but if you knew you could make it, that's not a bad result because now the only one that's left is behind the tee line and it's not buried.
Yeah. I thought that shot was a good shot. I just didn't think I would have thrown it with that much weight. I know it curls so much that you could have thrown back 8 or something and moved it back and stayed in. But anyway.
I don't think that's what they were playing because they had the inside guy brushing the whole way down. If they were trying to hit that one, once they were by the guard, they could have carved it.
Yeah.
Hit a little more of that rock. So I do think they were trying to get it by that one, but that's actually a good result because the leave is better than what he would have got if he hits the other one.
Yeah. So Ryan Jacques now trying to find a way to get to this end.
Well, he'll need to Christmas tree this a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking, just like the almost on the center line, but just a little left of center as we look at it on the overhead, and somewhere around top 4 foot's probably pretty good. Maybe a little higher than that even was okay. I don't know how. I think Vavrek, if he can hit something on this next shot, he's going to hit it. He's not going to play a draw unless you make him have to play a draw.
Well, I saw a hand up early. That might mean this has got a lot of weight. It's still out there a bit.
Definitely heavy.
Yeah.
Gets to the inside, he might get away with it. Well, he's not bad, except for the fact he might have a tougher shot in his next one than he might have had to have. Looking at the out turn here, I don't know what they'd be looking at. And just coming through.
He's looking at the angle slash on the red. He did tap that far enough back that if you did nutted the slash, you'd probably make the double on the yellows.
Yeah.
And you'd be buried. It's not a gimme. I mean, it's half a rock. And there's only 6 feet between them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see him playing. I see him playing something on the 2 yellows. I'm just not quite sure what it's going to be yet.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how brave you are. You could follow it down. You sit right on the face of it. It's awfully hard for him to get 2.
Yeah.
looks like he's playing with that broom. I'm thinking enough weight to try to get it through. He still wants to get close to the nose. Now, you could pass it by the second one and just roll to sit in front of the one at the back forefoot. That would make the last shot pretty tricky.
Yeah, that's the shot I'm looking at. I think that's the best shot. It's just you got to.
There'd only be about 2 feet between them.
Yeah.
And Ryan's got to pass it by that stone and still keep his shooter.
Yeah.
So you'd make it a tricky shot for him.
Yeah. Definitely looking at a little less weight than he threw on his first one, though. Because,
yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But regardless of whatever weight Rocky was trying to hit on his first one, I think he overthrew it. It was too much weight for either one of those. So I think he's got to be a little lighter, but he's got to move it out. If he's going to move it, he's got to move it far enough that it's out of play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was... with the weight he had on the first one, he just barely rubbed that stone and still pushed it plenty. He's got to get close to the nose on this one. What's for sure about this time carving? He's going to hit the same piece, though, and with this weight, he's not going to get it out this time. Oh, he does get it far enough.
Barely, yeah. But does leave Ryan Jacques with an open draw for 2. And an opportunity to take the lead after 4 ends of play.
This is way too early for Ryan to take the lead.
Well, he could throw it.
He hasn't had the lead before the 7th end yet today, I don't think.
Yeah. When he played these guys the first game, he had the lead till I think the 4th end. He was up 3-1 and gave up 3 in the 4th. I think it was something along that line. So
I think he took the lead after the 6th end this morning and after the 7th this afternoon, if I remember right. So he's only had the lead in 7 and 8 this morning and 8 this afternoon.
Yeah.
He's not going to know what to do with the lead this early.
No. He hasn't got it yet, so let's see what he does with this one. Probably still down on it, just a heavy clean going on. And now he's right off. So I'd say he's pretty close.
They're still bent over. That's always a good sign.
When we tell Ryan about moving his front end so we can see, we need to tell him to move himself too so we can see. So feel good. Very nice draw by Ryan Jacques. Puts it in the forefoot. And we'll pick up a couple here and take a 2-1 lead after 4 ends of play here at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Club Curling Series Event 2 Men's Final. We'll be back after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
So we're back. We didn't have an extensive break this time, and just a regular minute or two to change around, and we're moving to the 5th end with Ryan Jacques having a 1-point lead over Daylan Vavrek. Jake's going hard trying to get this out, but that won't happen, so he'll be forced to hit it.
And what'll be interesting to see here, no matter what he does, how he hits this, he's either going to be well back at the tee line and or well off the center line. You might see Vavrek play a corner guard here regardless.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. So Ethan Drysdale delivers the hit. And should have been a stay, but it's rolled out. If he wanted it to stay, I would assume he would have. Up goes the corner for Vavrek. Lead Evan Asmussen. Need to get the corner guards reasonably tight on this ice. There's so much curl that it seems all weekend everybody's throwing these corner guards a little longer than I would think that they need to be. Ryan going to the center. Just looking for a top button, basically. Never been a complete fan of this with the corner guard already up, but most people seem to do it. This one's a little heavy, maybe a lot heavy.
Yeah, that's not going to take away the come around attempt if they want to play it.
No, not at all. Got about 2 inches to the house at the back.
The only thing causing any hesitation for Daylan Vavrek right now is that it's the 5th end and not the 6th. If it was an even end, he wouldn't even have paused.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nathan Conley. This one's breaking pretty hard. A little ways to go yet, but it looks pretty good. And he's got it probably, yeah, very nicely done. There's enough curl there that Ryan can certainly get to it, but it is almost all behind the guard. See a little bit of it. Jordan Tardy. Looking for hack weight here. Drysdale going hard, trying to make it curl. Will he get it over there enough to get it out? I'm not sure. He managed to get it out, so good shot for Jordan.
Probably could still play the come around and be shot rock, but he's looking at the hit.
What I was going to say, Shawn. I said I don't know if I'd be worrying about that one right now. I think I'd go around the corner, try to make it a little bit better around the corner. That rock really shouldn't hurt you very much. It's well back there, and you're only 3 rocks in, so we should have some time to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think this is a back of his mind, keep the blank alive type of shot.
Yeah, you might be right. It might tie in with that idea of what end it is. I mean, it's only barely in the 8 foot at the back. Should be okay. Will he make the double?
Yeah, I think they switched here. Maybe too late. They were trying to get just across the face and roll in front of that back one, and I think they made a late decision. They weren't going to get there. And just a little too late to make the double. So Jake's now will
Ask Ryan Perrault to remove this one.
They're going to have to go on this. This might cross.
Just didn't have any weight on it.
Crossed enough to dead jam.
Boy, that's a bad miss, only because of the fact that, like, I don't know how you ever throw it that light. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you played there enough now that you, even no matter what the weight call is, that you only had a foot of ice, you knew you could throw it a little more than that. Anyway.
Taking the yellow shot, so they're going to make a play on it. And I have to think this is a 5th versus 6th end thing. If this was the 6th, you come around the corner here, you worry about hitting that yellow later, because you hit it now, it does leave a double.
Yeah. So Tristan Steinke now will hope to stay on this. This one's got to go some to stay too. This is curling hard. This is going to get a piece, but
yeah, it's going to make that double pretty easy.
Oh, there's that peel weight signal.
Yeah, if you hit the one that was just thrown ever so slightly first, you can spin up. I don't know that you can ever get back to the tee line, though. You can get in behind, but all that might do is force the freeze.
Force him to play the freeze, yeah. No, I think you're right. You can do that, but I think you're going to be back 8 foot when it finishes. So, yeah, it'd have to come up a long way.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I can't even do that with a golf shot. Ryan Perrault now looking for the double. I don't know if they got those lined up exactly where they want to hit it or not.
That moved a lot for that amount of weight.
Did?
I don't know whether that grabbed something or not, but I mean, he had big weight, and about halfway down, that took a big turn.
Yeah, he had really big weight. You're right on that. So Vavrek now doesn't have many options. He's got to pretty much go around. There's nothing left to hit.
Oh, for sure. You come around, he puts some pressure on, because Ryan, Jake's going to have a choice. So you ignore the stone that you're about to put in here, hit that little biter at the back 12. Well, Vavrek comes around again, and 3's in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also kind of dangerous to chase around a corner guard. Well, they got to get this by, though.
Yeah, they get on this early and hard. And he's
by. Now they kind of need it to stop before it pokes out in the open.
Probably show a little on the outside, but not much. I think
that's really good.
Yeah. Ryan looking maybe at the hit, but I don't see that. I see just a draw. Just follow that one down, I think.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
Chasing around a corner guard. But you're right. I'm not sure what else he's got. You hit the back one, they're going to draw around again, and 3's in play anyway.
Yeah, if they go around again, you think it's a little tough now to freeze to it, then it's impossible probably on the next one to freeze to it if it's 2 feet, 3 feet higher.
Yeah.
So I think you gotta make a play here. You gotta throw a good one. If it ever stays out a little bit, but it's not exceptionally heavy, you could come right around that one if you had to.
Yeah, I think if you come around it, anything where you come around it, there's going to be a way for Vavrek to get it out and sit 3.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it on purpose. Just figure it's
no.
What
I'm saying is, even if you're short of it, and just cut out the one at the back for now.
Yeah. I think Ryan just set it out a little bit too, but it should be okay. The weight's right. This looks pretty good. Line is looking quite good as long as it's not heavy. Don't think it is. Just heavy.
Yeah, just a little bit too heavy because there's room to get it through.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so close. It literally just needed to be, well, 1 foot lighter and he would have been fine.
Yeah. This still has to be made. It's a tricky shot.
Yeah. And with any luck at all, at least you'll end up with some sort of a double you can make if you have to go there. Keeps taking a little bit more.
There's probably room for Vavrek to get just past the nose. And if he does that, I don't know if you're trying to double.
No.
I'm not giving up 4. I think you might put him in a spot where he has to hit the one in the back to make sure that it's no worse than 3.
Yeah. It is quite a long guard, even though it doesn't really look like it in our. Well, it does on the overhead. When you see it on the overhead, It's a very long guard, so he's got a lot more room there to work with than it looks like when we see it on the long view, if you will. So a chance for Vavrek to put Ryan Jacques in big trouble here.
Pressures were down early, then off, now back on. This has got to be close.
It's really close. Might not curl enough, though. Oh, he did, just. Very nicely done. And in some trouble. What are you thinking, Shawn? A little hit and flop maybe off the top one?
Yeah, I think so. And there's a chance that if you make the hit and flop, you're killing the back one anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He's looking at the straight back double as well. I don't like that because if you ever just miss the second one, you're wide open for a shot for 3.
Yeah.
Hard to make the hit and roll over and be shot rock because you're up high enough that by the time you roll buried, I don't think you're shot.
Yeah, I don't even know if that should be your goal. I think you got to figure out what you can do to.
You're rolling in front of that red so they can't get it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And take your chances on a deuce. I don't think you're going to be able to prevent a 2. You got to make sure you prevent a 3. And like you say, if he tries that shot and rolls even a little bit inside, he maybe makes the back one too. This is a way more aggressive weight shot than I thought he'd play, though. Judging by what Daylan just took almost center line to make this similar shot. This is not very much ice.
No, that's true.
But it is probably double ice if he can get, as long as he gets to it, he's probably got a shot at the double. We'll see what he does. Ryan Jacques trying to get out of trouble here in the 5th end. Needs to curl. Needs to curl a little more. This could be good. Did we get them both at the back? No.
Jammed it.
Yeah.
But I think his roll was okay. I don't see them getting that out. So
no,
it'll just be a draw for 2.
So a very good shot for Ryan Jacques. It turns out it didn't matter if he made the double or didn't make the double. With the roll, he was fine. So well done. Have to be pretty happy in this situation, giving up only the 2.
Yeah.
And you get the hammer in the 6th and score, and you're in control. Theoretically. It's an open draw for Vavrek. Shouldn't have too much trouble with this. Just needs the 8 foot, but needs to make it. Looks pretty good. Scriber's just kind of cleaning it as it's coming in. And it'll stop on the tee line. So good throw for Vavrek. And he will get the lead back. He'll go up by 1 at 3-2 after 5 ends of play for the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Event 2 here at the Beaumont Curling Club. We are brought to you by Curling Stadium Beaumont this week. So we'll be back after the break.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, we got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, yeah!
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
Welcome back. Only 2 ends to play, barring overtime here in the men's final of the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series event number 2. Been a good game, been really close, been some really nice shots, been a few misses to keep it interesting as well, and should be where it's at. 1 point difference as we go to number 7. Big thanks while we have a second to Tim's Curling, or Tim's Manufacturing, Ice Manufacturing, and to Hack2House for their sponsorship of this event.
Unfortunate time to make to mention the ice maker, as that picked hard coming into the house.
Yeah.
Ends up dead buried. Fortunate, I think, for the Vavrek team, because they had a not bad looking shot coming in. That could have ended up way worse. It could have ended up drastically out in the open. It not only did it go sideways, it looked like it stopped.
Yeah. So Ryan's going around the corner this time. Ethan Drysdale, he's had a pretty good game. Pretty good with the weight all day. Got to sneak it by. Ooh, and he will get kind of, I think it rubbed a little bit, but
yeah, I thought so too.
Still got enough action on it to get at least half buried.
I'm cheating and looking at the YouTube feed, which is a few seconds behind, and I still think it rubbed. So
yeah. Yeah, it's odd there. I have that up too, and it looks, I don't know, it seemed really strange. Anyway, Vavrek now will look to remove this. Nathan Conley at second stone this week for Vavrek. And this one looks pretty good. Nicely done. All right, Jake's going to play, didn't roll behind the corner maybe. Really would like to get a couple this end if he could. Seems not in a bad position even if he only gets 1, but 2 would make it that much better. Ryan Pront down hard. Never looking up. Just a nice looking shot. If they get enough roll. Ooh, they could have stood just a little bit more. Yeah.
Just under-rolled it.
Yeah. Yeah, a little peat. That much poking out the other side would be fine, but...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You make them hit and roll towards the edge, you're fine. Might even roll out.
I'm going to try to duplicate a shot here, throwing the out-turn hit. Quite a bit of ice here. And it looks okay. Going to get a piece, not a real big piece this time, but might be able to stay, and I think it will.
Quiet weight saved him. He hangs around in the back. 12.
Yeah. So we'll see what Ryan does. Going to go around the corner again. Well, he was going around the corner. He might be changing his mind a little bit here.
Yeah, I think the hesitation here is you've got a chance here to deal with the stuff in the middle. You're still going to have rocks to work with. Now, you sure don't want to roll out on this. So if you just hit the guard, miss the second one, and roll over to a corner guard, that's still not a bad result.
Yeah. Jordan Tardy with the out-turn hit. You get a couple. I'm not sure which couple yet. Those two are pretty good. Jordan's probably thinking, thank goodness. Because I wonder if I was ever going to be able to hit one of those rocks in behind again. In the right place. Hit a couple, not so much in the right place. Tristan Stanky now will be throwing for the Vavrek team. Looks like to come around the guard. The sort of tweener guard between center guard and corner guard.
A lot of room and a lot of rotation.
It's pretty good if they can carve it in there a bit. Yeah.
Edge to edge, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's enough room for Ryan Perron to get in there though, and he's looking at hitting and rolling in front of the other one. I think there's enough room for him to roll inside if he really wanted to, but
yeah, there probably is. But you do that, they might try to come down corner freeze to it. I don't mind this call. You hit roll over. Vavrek probably has to make a play on the yellow stone, and then you should be able to play a come around.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's a better plan for sure.
Plus, that means you're coming in at, you love to make that off when you're looking for two. You love to make that offensive move with third's last stone, and this is setting up to have the timing exactly perfect for him. Got to stay on this one though.
Yeah, he's close. He just got enough finish at the end that it should be good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, really nice spot. What makes it nice too is it didn't go to the other side of the red one where, they could hit and roll towards the center. Here they got to roll towards the outside, which makes that possibility of the ignoring it and coming around the guard that you mentioned much more attractive.
Yeah, I would imagine they're playing it no matter what.
Thank you with his final one here in the 6-10.
He had a trouble with an out-turn hit in this same area once before, and he's going to be very thin if he hits this at all.
Yeah, he must do something with it there. The first time it looked like he was really surprised by it, that he didn't necessarily feel that he did anything wrong with it, but 2 in a row would probably tell you that you're doing something with that out-turn there that is a bit odd. So no doubt for Ryan then, with that one gone, there was never any question that you're going to come around the guard. So here goes Ryan Perron now. I'd sink this one in here in a good spot and maybe get yourself a deuce here in the 7th end, or 6th end, sorry. Haven't timed anything, but the ice is pretty keen. Everything they throw slides pretty good. This should be really good.
Yeah, nice line coming by.
Yeah. That's a super good shot.
Yeah. Almost has to play the run. Like a freeze to it's not going to do any good at all.
No.
It's too high.
So Vavrek going to try the run back here. It's got about probably 8 to 10 feet between the two stones, but certainly a makeable shot.
It is. You need to spill them both, though. That's always the tricky part. When it's the other team's rock, you're running back. I mean, if you leave it in play somewhere, even if it's wide open, they're going to come around again.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna get it.
You don't want to stuff it.
Oh,
I can't believe they didn't sweep that. Like that over curled.
Yeah. Yeah, Stanky not too happy either, and he's the one that would have been calling it, so he's kicked it away and moved to the other side of the sheet somewhere. So Ryan Jacques now with a chance at 3. He won't get it that way, I don't think.
Nope. Hard to come around again. If it's the red, you'd be coming around. You could come through the port, behind the corner. Certainly there for the ice that we've seen them play to come around that corner.
Yeah, I think
if you're going to bury on the corner, the port's it's just got you queued up. Really,
yeah.
He's probably a little scared though. If he rubs the red guard going by, he's not even getting 2.
Well, and 2 is huge here. Like you don't want to do anything that would mess that up. 3's beautiful, but if you're a little bit afraid of it,
you could freeze the back one.
You could, yeah.
You're still getting 2 for sure, and he's got to make a tricky shot to get out there if you're frozen well enough.
The only thing I don't like about this is that the break is so late that sometimes I'd be a little worried I ever might touch the red one.
I'm sure that's what he's worried about. And then, of course, if you're straight across from the other yellow, it might make the run look a little safer too. It's hard to think you're going to miss both of them if they're.
Yeah, no.
You could put it right between them, and that's a risk, but.
I like the aggressor.
Yeah, it's your best bet for 3, and they know this path.
And sometimes if you're going to win these things, you got to do make these kinds of calls that aren't, ultra safe all the time. So Ryan Jacques going to draw that port. Well, he's not going to have to worry about the red one, at least.
No, I think the line's really nice. The question is, how heavy is this?
Yeah, it might be. Will it dig in? It's a little bit.
Yeah, I think it will.
Okay. Well,
Just in time.
Yeah. I think well done, although I will say that Vavrek could follow that down.
He could.
And make it, he'd follow it down and be shot even and make it a little bit tough on Ryan to do more than score.
It's not going to look like an easy shot. And, from what I've seen of this game, I don't know that Daylan can put the broom in the same place and get it to run the same. Ryan's got that little bit of an outward motion on his release on his out turn.
Yeah.
We saw it even with the hit last end. Ryan took a lot less ice.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, we commented on that, and it was quite different.
Could play the run again. You make the run, though, you're giving up 2. I don't think you're rolling in for shot rock.
No, and if you did, you'd be rolling in wide open somewhere, so.
The run double's a possibility. It's tough.
It would be a force if you made that. Well, I think it would be a force.
I think it'd be a blank. Yeah, because I think take the guard out of the way. If you were playing the slash double, you're probably less than half a rock. I think you're losing your shooter.
Yeah, probably so. He's going to play it anyway, in some form or fashion. Well, Daylan seems to be able to throw the weight and throw it nice and straight, so this wouldn't be a shot for me.
Ooh, I'm not sure he threw that one straight.
Check this out. Is he going to get anything?
Nope.
Whoa. Yeah, it wasn't quite the purest throw. So a big break for Ryan Jacques, and he will have a chance to draw for 3 here in the 6th end and be in a very good position going towards the end of this game. Bear down on this one. These are the ones that sometimes you miss it. You just don't focus quite hard enough. So important to do that. And I don't picture Ryan doing that because everything about his style is very deliberate. So he doesn't change anything or rush anything, and that's a good thing. Just has to hit really piece of the 8-foot would do it. It's that big extra point too. 2 was nice. You would have taken 2 in a minute starting this end, but now that you have a chance for 3, you don't want to mess that one up.
No. Had a really tricky draw to make on his first one. This is going to look pretty simple by comparison.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot, that first one. There's no backing to work with here for the sweeper, so. Yeah, it looks pretty good if it ever gets there. When this finishes, I think you're going to see a 3 spot up for the Ryan Jacques team.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, you're not going to see it, but we're pretty sure it happened.
It's looking good for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to assume that you got his 3 there, and we have a 5-3 game in favor of Ryan Jacques here after 6 ends with 2 to go in the men's final. We'll be back after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So we're back for end number 7. Big 3-ender there in the 6th end for Ryan Jacques. Shawn, how did you manage to pull that one off?
Well, they got that one in behind, and then it was a little bit of a miscue on 2 run-back attempts for Daylan Vavrek. They really needed to sweep the first one. He was very close to making it, dead stuffed it. But, now for Ryan Jacques, I was joking once earlier, but he's got them right where he wants them. Lead after 6 or after 7, that's where he's been all day. This is just the 5th time all day, and now 1, 2, 3, 6. So he's played 24 ends already. This is the 25th end that he started, and he's only started 5 ends with the hammer all day, or with the lead, all day. He's in good shape right here with a 2-point lead playing 7.
Nice start.
Yeah.
The center guard and one in the house, and corner guard up for Vavrek. He's going around the corner. It's got to curl a little bit, but we say that a lot in these events, and I'm sure it will.
Yeah, if it's deep enough, he should be buried. Looks like it's pretty good.
Very nicely done. Ryan's going to play looks like he's going to go after the one in the house with just enough weight to tap it through, and if he touches that front one, he figures he'll be okay. Roll towards the center.
As long as he doesn't touch it into the boards.
No.
This is just the 5th stone of the end, so that's still a free guard out there.
It's a little complicated, but I'm sure that George's got a pretty good idea what he's got to throw here.
Oh, he's not wide.
No. No, not a good throw at all. Didn't really have a good run at that. Won't move anything really.
He might be fortunate that he was narrow, because if he hits the broom, it's just going to be another corner guard. It's that light.
Yeah, it's almost like he threw that one afraid of it or something, because it was not, like you say, not really even close. I mean, he's looking for back 8-foot weight, and
he came way over the top on the release, and it was curling right out of his hand.
Yeah. So Vavrek's going to try to go around here again with Nathan Conley this time. This one looks pretty good as well, because it doesn't bounce too much. Very nicely done.
Yeah, that's huge, because he's also got second shot out of it too.
Yeah. So
which is important, because Ryan's going to make a play on the guard here. Even if he just peels it, it's okay. Then Vavrek's going to have to guard those 2. Well, as long as he's guarding those 2, he can't make a play on the one in the middle. So it's critical that he's actually sitting 2 already.
Yeah. So an in-turn run back here for Jordan Tardy. He will bearing down on this one, I'm sure, after missing the first couple. This looks... Oh, I thought it looked better than that. I didn't think it was going to hit it on that side. But moved them both into open areas and much better result than the first one for sure. But
Yeah. Vavrek sits 2 though, and there's no double on the 2 reds that are in there now.
no. Where would Vavrek put this one, I wonder, is the question.
Yeah, scoreboard almost says you got to gamble. He was looking at coming around the corner first, and I don't mind that because it's hard to do much in the middle without making your situation worse.
Yeah, guys going down to have a look at it. Stenke and Connolly.
It's a flat double. It might be there. That might be what they're looking at.
Yeah, you'd have to throw it hard, but Ryan Perront's up next, and he can certainly throw it hard.
I don't know if you play the double. You might just roll behind. That might be your best bet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I think they would try to do. I think the effort to make the double would be difficult. I don't know what they're thinking there.
Well, they're not liking the center guard. They're wondering if they can come by, rub the center guard, get it off the center, and get the shooter into the rings behind the corner somewhere. Great shot if you make it. Really high degree of difficulty.
Yeah, super high. It's just if it was a little closer, it's like playing a split, but playing a split from 7 feet in front of the house or whatever that is, 6 feet probably in front of the house.
It's the lineup of the 2 yellows in the middle that they don't like, and they'd like to move one of them. And actually, the safer one to move is the guard, but you also want to get a third rock into the rings when you're playing this, so that's tough. Looks like they're going to play the out turn, try to get to the stone at the top of the 8-foot, split it out from behind. You're still going to leave a double somewhere.
Yeah, probably the shooter and the one right underneath his feet there.
Yeah.
Tristan Stanky, third for the Vavrek team. A tough little shot here. Just trying to move the rock on the 8-foot into the open. I think he's on the top one, so he might end up with the same shot they were talking about a few minutes ago.
Get the shooter in? Nope. Did he push the yellow in? Nope. Also no. I mean, the situation for Vavrek's a little better now for making sure he's got a shot at 2. It's not as good for trying to score 3, but
no,
there's still going to be opportunities. So the wall of guards over on the left as we look at Ryan. Albeit they're all the wrong color.
Ryan Pront now will be playing the hit on the red. He's going to hit the one through the port. It's a pretty wide port. Try to hit and flop behind the center guard, or the center rock and touch an 8-foot. Call that a guard canal. Sure is a big difference the look on the overhead versus the going down the sheet look. Very different. Ooh, we might have put this one out a little bit. Going hard. You're going to need enough to hang around, though. No, just set it out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he's got the straight come around on the yellows now. If you didn't like the yellows in the middle before, you could play the hit and roll now, too.
Yeah.
As long as you get behind the corner.
Yeah, I definitely could.
That yellow that hung on in the back 12-foot's kind of helping Daylan Vavrek too, because for Ryan Jacques to try to roll towards the middle, he'd be risking jamming that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know you don't always like to hit something, but since you're in neighbors of that yellow one, I'm a little bit surprised you didn't hit it because you would have been safe with. We would have had shot rock even if you hit it right on the nose. It's a pretty good shot.
Got a pretty good result.
Yeah. Interesting to see if Ryan plays this one or plays the open one now. Looks like he's going to play the same one.
Yeah, the open one comes with its own set of risks. As I said, if
Yeah.
you can't roll to the middle with it. You might jam it. You jam it and roll to the middle, leave a double. It would be a double to sit 3. You don't want to bring that back into play.
Yeah. No question. And we just threw this one. Like to catch just a little bit more of it. I think that was a better throw. The last one, I thought he put it out a little bit. Assuming the ice is probably the same. But they got to go hard on this. And they get it by. We got to get it by. It looks like he's going to be able to get by, maybe. Yeah.
Ooh.
Second time today they've had one happen like that. So a little tougher now. That's a nice throw, too. It was unfortunate for Ryan. Fortunate for both Ryans.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else right here. You got to come down again, sit it right on top, slightly to the inside of your own if you could get there, but
Vavrek looking for a way that he can get 3 here. The previous shot just broke so hard that it would seem like he could get this in there and be almost behind the yellow. Certainly at least in line with the other one, because that's where they were in the last shot.
if his weight's close, it's hard to have bad line on this if you're ever so slightly on the center line corner. Any attempt to play that same type of shot for Ryan is going to leave one of the Reds there for sure.
Yeah, true enough.
If he can get across the face a little bit, he can't really see enough of either one of them to make a play on it, I don't think.
No. This one's going to be short. Beyond the guard, I think. No, he snuck it by.
Oh, great job by the Brushers. They get it just far enough to be third, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Even if it's not, the yellow one's wide open, and there's separation too, so he can't even really make a double. He's looking at coming off the yellow. Now, if you come off the yellow, do you get the red at the 9 o'clock position in the 8 foot as well?
So you're almost playing a double on the...
You're almost playing it like a triple.
Yeah.
Yellow onto the... Come off your yellow onto the one that was just thrown, and then drive that yellow into the one at the 9 o'clock position.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think it's there.
The angle's there for sure.
Yeah. The only problem, if it ever comes up or something, you could be looking at 4 on the next one, but somewhere you're going to have to make something here. Definitely there. They're looking at it.
Well, as long as you're not too thick, you should get the stone that was just delivered, because there's not a lot of room between those two. Unless you're really thick and go over the top of it, and then you're missing the third one as well. I mean, even if you're too thin and somehow manage to drive it over the top of the one at 9 o'clock, you're not missing the one at...
Not missing them both, that's for sure.
You're not missing the one right beside it.
Yeah. So broom down. The thing about Ryan, a little bit I've seen him play, and I've only ever seen him this weekend, a couple of games, and he never really looks too rattled out there. Looks a little hyper, but he doesn't look too rattled. So a chance to make a great shot here and totally change the look of this end. Hitting about a quarter of a rock or so, maybe a third of a rock.
If he can make this shot, he might be looking for the videotape right after the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, we better have to save that one. All right, Jake's with the intern. A little bit tight coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if he straightened it out enough either. If you're thick on the first one, you're over the top of the second one.
Ooh.
Caught the third one, though, and got the second one enough, even with being a little over the top, that he does make 2 of them go.
Yeah, pretty good result. I was actually looking the other way. I was looking at the one on the right-hand
really?
side. If you look at it, yeah, so I didn't see the one on the left as we look at the overhead here. I was wondering if everything was going to go over there. So, yeah, great result. Yeah, I don't think it was his best slide for sure. He just had a little bit tight and kind of had to put it out. And I was thinking he had too much when you were calling that for over the top. I was thinking, man, I think you're right. I think it's going right over top, but doesn't matter. Very good shot.
By rolling as far as he did, I mean, there's still a chance for 3. Vavrek still got, he could play the same come around. He also looked at the freeze on the other side. I think this is the way to go, though, because you get the stone that's there is about half open now. If you can get this one about 3/4 under cover, it's tricky for Ryan to remove either one of them.
Yeah, very much. Vavrek looking to come around this corner. They've done this a few times now in this end. Should have it down pretty good. It's a delicate shot, too. You could easily leave this in a position to have Jacques have a double at it, but looks like it's going to be pretty good.
If they get by.
Sneak it by. Will it get by? It won't get by. Definitely a double possibility. Might be a potential jam on the yellow over here. Team sports a lot of green for playing out of province besides Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I feel right at home.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I got green outfits, green brooms. I got the whole thing. They could get deported. Ryan Jacques with a chance to get out of this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance you make the double or you make contact with both. You can see Ryan Perrant looking over the shoulder. There is a chance it ends up over on that yellow at the back, 12-foot.
Yeah.
I don't think you can worry about that. You got to play it.
Yeah.
And hope you get under that stone, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the start. I thought there's definitely a double, but the double might jam. But you're right. I think
he's looking at it.
Yeah. Must be in the neighborhood. It's going to hit. Man, they got it out.
Well, it's a blank, though.
Yeah. Yeah. But pretty happy blank, I think, for Team Jacques. It was looking a little scary there for a while during that end.
Yeah. But, to turn things around for Vavrek, and we saw the similar situation this morning, actually, in the Jacques Cooey matchup. Cooey blanked 7 to go to 2 down playing 8, because here's the thing. Vavrek had chances for 3 this end, but you get 3 and 7, you're one up coming home, but the other team's got last rock. If you score 3 and 8, you win.
Yeah,
so,
but you're still one up going home. It's just different home.
Well, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. So this is not a bad spot for him to get the blank. If he's going to go after 3 and you get 2, you're still playing one more in, needing to steal.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. Anyway, so it's a blank end for Team Vavrek here, and as Shawn said, they will retain Hammer here with an opportunity to possibly get a 3 in the 8 and win this thing. And we will be back for the last end, or potentially last end, right after this.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts charity bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
So here we are, about to start in number 8. One rock thrown went to the middle of the house for Drysdale and Team Jacques, and now we're looking for a corner guard for Team Vavrek and Evan Asmussen. Looks like a good spot. Again, from my way of thinking, I still feel like the corner guards they're playing the corner guards a little too high, and it just seems to be that the way it goes. But
with Last Rock, I've never been one that minded playing the corner guards a little higher, and only because the team without Last Rock is never chasing around your corner guard if they have a choice.
Yeah,
you've got to be tight when you're playing centers, because the team with Last Rock might come around that. And if they come around it, you want them to maybe be behind the T line.
Yeah.
If they want to come around the corner guard, let them.
Yeah. I'm looking at it thinking, when I go around that corner guard, I'd rather that they can't throw a board weight hit at it and make it. So the second one for Drysdale, good end for him. It's funny, that old lead position that for many, many years didn't really matter that much. It's a big, important kind of part of the team nowadays. You got to throw some good shots in these ends. And a lot of pressure sometimes. I played lead for the first couple of years when I turned senior, and I thought, man, this is like, I feel more pressure throwing this guard in the 8th end than I ever did trying to draw the 4-foot as a skip. So,
well, this is a shot. You used to see it played a lot. You don't get to see it that much anymore. He's throwing the second corner guard to the opposite side. This one's a little tighter. They won't like that where it is now, because eventually, and not yet, because this is still just the 5th stone of the end.
Yeah.
There's going to be a chance to make a double peel all the way across.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want those even.
Yeah. All right, Jake's throwing will amount to basically a tight or just on guard here. Just trying to muck up the middle a little bit.
Makes the guard, but and it is in the no-tick zone, but that was the 5th stone, so they can move stuff now. Looking at just coming around. Thought you might see him move something in the middle first.
Yeah.
You don't have to hit it. Like, you could play a split, just try to get behind the corner.
Yeah, just uncomplicate the center a little bit.
You're going to have to deal with them sometime, right?
Yeah. See outturn come around for Connolly here. I think this whole game has been outturn come around, so I don't know if I ever said in-turn come around the whole time, but it's a nice shot.
Maybe for Ethan.
Yeah, maybe for Ethan, yeah. Terry gives me a hard time about that. I'm going to call it the clockwise rotation or whatever versus the left-handed outturn. Anyways. Peel going up for Jake's here. Probably try to get them both, I imagine.
Yeah, that was the call. You're okay if you just peel the guard here.
Yeah. He's close.
You don't want to stuff it. Got them both.
Yeah. Good shot. See this again? I think ideally when you started, you were probably trying to hit this on the inside and make the double that way. But he makes it the other way, and that's just good. And plus the shooter's kind of gone out of the way too, pretty much. Mind if you're watching this on Curling Stadium in YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to our what do you call it on YouTube?
The channel, I believe.
Our channel, yeah. Okay, well, subscribe to our channel. It certainly helps us a whole lot and helps keep you informed of what's going on with the curling world. As Jerry and his crew cover pretty much everything. So this is not a bad draw.
Yeah, I guess to what you just said, you mentioned off the top it was Championship Sunday. It's pretty much Championship Sunday every Sunday on Curling Stadium. It's just a matter of where we're coming from.
Yeah, exactly right.
There aren't too many weekends where we haven't had something so far this fall, and I think there's going to be a few after Christmas as well, is what I heard.
Yeah, I looked at that. It looked like it. It's been quite fun for me. I've enjoyed doing it, and I think it's surprising the number of people. I don't know if it's totally surprising, but it's a number of people even in my club that have seen this, and that's a good news story for me. I just kind of ran into some people, and they'd be like, "Well, we heard you on the." I'm thinking, really? Like, you listen to that one? Yeah. We just walk around, float around, look for some curling stuff to listen to, and heard you on there. So I said, great. So what are we going to do here? We're going to have a timeout. And Ryan obviously does have a coach here. He got up and look there. What are you thinking you're going to play here, Shawn?
Yeah, I don't mind the idea of the chase.
Yeah.
Because if you happen to rub the guard,
yeah,
it's your own guard. You rub the guard, you end up in the middle somewhere, and it's another rock that they're probably going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room between them to play the run. I know it's your own rock, but if you drive it by, then Vavrek comes to the other side. You're hitting that, and he's just going to come to the other side again, and it gives him his chance at 3. I don't see too many downsides to doing the chase. I mean, you're going to chase with enough weight to try to kill it, but if you crash the guard, are you not ending up on the center line, sitting 3 probably somewhere or another? Yeah,
I think so too. Yeah, I'm not a big chase fan either, but I think in this case that's what I would do. I don't think I'd play the run. And
the fact that Vavrek has not dealt with the rocks in the middle yet, you could still, you can get a plan B out of this, and it's still one more rock that he's got to deal with.
Yeah. Could you ever consider throwing another guard on all that stuff in the middle?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
At some point in time, Vavrek is going to freeze to that stone on the button now.
Yeah. Well, they got to be just about ready to make a decision here. Ryan's down there looking pretty hard at it. We know it curls like crazy in there, so it'll definitely go in. It's no question about that. It's just a matter of...
Well, yeah.
Wait.
Gonna play the run.
Yeah, a bit surprised, but...
Well, only because of the situation, right? If you make the run, there's still always going to be a shot for 2 alive. If you miss the run, there's still a lot of rocks to come and a lot to be done, but 3's kind of alive with a rock sitting back there.
Yeah, I suppose if you miss it by hitting the target stone on the outside, then your shooter's gonna be gone. If you miss it on the inside, he's gonna be throwing it hard enough that you're still gonna roll to the center. So let's see what happens. It's close. Good shot.
Vavrek has done nothing with the rocks in the middle yet. I think he has to draw to the middle now. He's still looking at the corner, but if you don't come to the middle now, how are you ever dealing with those?
Well, I know I'm thinking the same, really. I think it's, if nothing else, at least, play that top one and try to roll in the ring somewhere, at least open those up so that you're...
Boy, it's really tough to think you're going to play a shot that delicate and get buried. I don't mind freezing the one on the button.
No, that's the other option for sure. I don't know if there's got enough rocks left to play anything on the middle one and stuff. I think it's the draw or the tap on the top, do something with the top one.
Yeah. He
needs to have this on the rings when he's done somehow, though.
I thought he would have done something with these middle ones earlier just because there was 3 of them and they're overlapped. This is almost too late to be just trying to move rocks around like this. I mean, you're still going to have a shot for 2, but you're almost too late to salvage a chance for 3.
Yeah. So let's see what Tristan Stanky can do with this. He's not throwing it very hard, I don't think. Trying to just chip the middle one and roll over behind the corner. He's going to get the chip part. I just don't know if he's going to roll far enough other than just wide open.
And he really didn't chip it out into the open.
No, he might have made it harder.
That's not better, yeah.
Had to have a little more weight than that. Needed to have enough weight to bump that another few feet and also get a shooter to roll a bit further than it did. I'm calling for a peel again. I think you have to throw it that hard, but I guess if you throw it good that way, then go ahead.
He might be looking at the run.
Oh, the yellow on the red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Ryan looks at all the options. I think he looked at it, but I don't think he's going to play it. He's going to play the straight hit.
He's going to be fine, I think. We might keep a broom down would be good. Well, it's going to be really hard to give up 3 now.
It's going to be hard to score.
Yeah.
For Vavrek. Like he really needed to move those rocks in the middle earlier. He's freezing now, but you freeze now, you still need 2 shots to get that. The one that you're freezing, you'd still need 2 shots to get it out. Well, you've only got 2 left after this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you don't really have a shot to get rid of it on the next one. So I don't know what you're doing here. This is a bad situation for Vavrek. Even just to get his 2 now.
Yeah, getting 2 is even going to be tough. You're right.
Can you play that same split, get in behind the corner? Does it? But I don't think it's. I think it's high enough. I don't think it's touching the 2 in the 4-foot. So you've still got that problem.
Yeah, I think you can do it. Just
will it touch the one at the top of the 4-foot? I think it goes past it, over the top.
I think it does too. Yeah.
Through more weight and more rotation, this isn't going to curl the same. He's going to go right by it.
Yeah. So that's an email term.
You can pick one or the other. You can't do both.
Yeah.
And really, the only reason you're peeling this corner guard is because had things set up on those last 2, the last shot and the next one, this rock might be the one that Vavrek would have had to run in on his last one to try to get 2. Well, it's about to be gone.
Yeah, it's kind of one that
he's got the freeze on the other side, but he's got nothing to run in except yellow rocks. So freeze is no good anymore. He's got to come in. I don't know where he goes. He might not even throw his next rock. He's got no way to double the 2 yellows out of the top of the 4-foot now. It would take him 2 shots to do that, and he can't get into the house on one of them. Ryan makes the guard go away. Actually clips the second one for good measure. And I would not be surprised to see handshakes here.
Well, I think you throw an intern here and just try to tap that yellow one back a couple of feet and leave yours there, and see if there's something you can do with it on the next shot. That's the only thing I see, anyways. I
don't see anything. I don't see that happening, and I don't see he's got anything. He's going to need to double those 2 out of the 4-foot, and he can't get to them. Stanky thinking if they get a rock in a good position here, they might be able to play the in-off on the last one. That I guess it might be there. Could play the in-off now. If you make the double, you might have a shot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that it's any harder to play it now than it would be on the last one. You got to make it on one of them, and if you made it now, your last shot actually might be a little bit easier.
Yeah,
to make it on the last one, you've got to corner freeze this in such a way that you can play that in off. Not at both yellows go and both reds would have to stay. So your angle on this freeze has to be pretty precise.
Yeah.
And either way, you're going to have to play that in off with the last one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
If you make the in off now, you don't have to get the second one all the way out as long as you bury. You'd want to pop it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you play it now. And if you don't make it, you were shaking hands anyway.
Yeah.
Not a high percentage chance, but there's a chance.
Yeah. So just trying to hit probably almost nothing of this, probably about a eighth of a rock, I would think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's thin.
And he's going to hit too much, but rolled out.
Spins out over the top.
There. It would have been interesting. Might have had to throw it at least. So a steal of a bunch here in the final end for Ryan Jacques. And Ryan Jacques and his team are the champions of the 2024 Hack2House Alberta Curling Series. Team event number 2. Good weekend for Ryan and the guys. They had to battle. They didn't get it handed to them. They had to kind of work pretty hard at it.
3 games today, 26 ends. They are going to sleep good tonight.
They will. So on behalf of myself, Jim Nix, and Shawn, Joyce, and I think we have Cailey in the production, we'll say goodbye for now, and thanks for joining us, and please join us again probably next weekend somewhere across the country. So good night for now.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.